G'day, Andrew Murray here from the Apartment Specialist. Welcome to our channel. Today we've got Chris here from the team. Cool. And now today we're going to be talking about the 5 major factors when it comes to looking at an apartment of what will determine capital gain in the future.
Okay. So I think we're going to start looking at building.
Yep.
We'll then have a look at floor plans.
Cool.
Long-term maintenance and finance.
Right.
Okay. A location.
Yep.
And then we're going to end on future.
Future, nice one.
Yeah,
cool.
big one.
Okay, so I'll start off first. My favourite one, buildings. Okay, a lot of people don't realise that buildings are like, buying an apartment in a building is like buying it in its own individual suburb, because you can't change a building. Okay, we all look at some buildings and we go, some look good, some don't.
Yeah.
You can maybe change the colour of them, but you can't add balconies, you can't change the architectural design of them. So if you have one building that looks, like you look at that building and go, yeah, that's a fantastic looking building, that's a good one to buy in for future value. If you look at another building and go, that one looks like a slum, it's always going to look like a slum. So don't just think about how cool the apartment looks, look at the whole building. Okay, number 2.
Floor plans.
Yep.
So as well as looking on the outside of the apartment, you have to look in the apartment. That's where you're going to be living.
Sure.
And when you come to sell it, that's where people are also going to be purchasing. So I think the first thing to look at is actual usable floor space.
Yep.
Which is big, because if you walk into a 150 metre square apartment, supposedly, and it feels like 100 metres, it doesn't matter, it's 100 metres. You know, it's about what you feel, not necessarily what's on paper. At the same time, as well as usable space, you've obviously got to look at things like second and third bedrooms. Okay, are they actually bedrooms? Can you fit a double bed in there? And are people going to maximise the use of what they're meant to be built for? Okay, you've got to remember, whatever you think is, when you come to sell it, is likely what the next person's going to think as well. And if you can tick as many boxes in your purchase, it's going to make it easier to get that capital gain in the future.
That's a really good point. If you're seeing things that don't fit, for example, if you walk in and there's enough space to have a living room and watch TV, but there isn't enough space to have a dining table, that's going to be somebody else's feel. And that's going to affect the price in the future. So a cheap apartment now is going to be a cheap apartment in the future, in reference. Okay, so the third one then we're going to be talking about is sort of long-term maintenance plans, body corporates. A lot of it, people see that as a detail, the boring stuff, but it's extremely important. You want to make sure that building is being maintained. A long-term maintenance plan is also like an insight into how proactive is this body corporate. Are they going to be painting it? Are they looking after the building? You can also see how long is the actual lifetime of the materials. No one wants to go into a leaky building, so that's extremely important, number 3. And then number 4?
Location. Location. Everyone says it's the most important, and you can't underestimate it, but it's got its place amongst all these 5. You've got to look at, well, if I'm purchasing an apartment, okay, what has it got access to? Has it got access to the transport links? Has it got access to businesses? Has it got access to schools? And I think location, when you talk about apartments as well, they're built for convenience. So as a general rule, okay, the CBD is always going to be the hot spot, okay? And within that CBD, you'll obviously have micro areas, okay? But at the same time, the further you go out, well, the location is going to become a bit more dependable on what's right next to the apartment.
Yes, exactly. So, an apartment's great in Remuera. That's probably the closest suburbs are really big because people like to live in that kind of suburb feel. So I'd say the CBD, you bang on, and the fringe suburbs are always going to be huge. And the rest is, looking at other, let's say Takapuna is another little city which people want to be close to. So the apartments will do well there, that kind of thing. But if you're going out to Papakura, why? You might as well have the land in the house, all that kind of thing. And the commute's 2 hours. Okay, so the next one is one of my favourites, it's future. People don't see it. Well, that's what they call it, the future. But this is a tip, go into the council. See what is the council is actually doing. They actually plan areas. They go, okay, I want more people to live here, so we're going to do this to the area. We're going to put a rail link here. We're going to do a motorway here. We're going to redo all these streets. That is massive, okay? And you've got the answers, just do a little bit of legwork. And the next one is, okay, if you look at the council, then look at the corporate world. So the corporate world is, okay, are there big industries coming and building, like for example, I'll let you talk about Wynyard Quarter, you firing.
So Wynyard Quarter is a good example. Like, we're in the west end of the city, so in there you've got projected 10,000 jobs, I think, in the near future. Some are already there, as well as obviously the apartments that are getting developed. This whole west end of the city is all getting developed alongside. Obviously, you've got the Sky City Convention Centre up the road as well. And it's all just signs for the future of a higher population in this area, more jobs, okay, more money, which leads to capital gain. I think the biggest thing that you said, go to the council, and we said obviously do your research, but just walk around the area. Yeah. If you walk around the area and actually open up your eyes, I think that you can achieve a lot. Yeah. Do you know, you really can.
Yeah, we're very lucky at the moment because you can see the cranes. Where there is cranes, there is their expansion. Yeah. Thanks, Chris, for coming in.
Cheers, boss.
I think we sorted that pretty well. Now, next week we're going to be talking about finance. We get it all the time. It's a question because every single bank is different. So what is the difference between getting finance between the banks for houses and apartments? Yep. And nextly, what's the difference between each bank? So thanks for coming in. Any questions about today, please put it in the box below. And talk to you soon. Cheers.
Cheers.